Hello, my dear viewers, welcome to another episode of Mischievous Mind. Today is the first episode of the season. I wanted us to start with something special, a story about an extraordinary player. A journey full of determination, challenges, and success. A player who started from nothing, from a very humble neighborhood, and carved his own path to the top. He shattered records and achieved accomplishments no one else could reach. What's remarkable about him isn't just his skill on the field, but also his character that has inspired millions around the world. A player who always says, perseverance and sacrifice are the keys to success, which is the player known as Cristiano Ronaldo. Madeira's Rocket, the Don, El Bicho. On 30th of December, 2023, the Saudian club Al Nassr announces a final deal with Cristiano Ronaldo, being the highest paid player in football history until this episode's filming. And then everything went haywire. Al Nassr's account on Instagram had a huge leap in a few days, from having 500k followers to more than 8.5 million followers. Their total followers on all platforms reached 15 million. On the January 19th, Cristiano played his first match on King Fahd Stadium against Paris Saint-Germain with the presence of Messi. A match that was broadcasted on 36 sports channels with ones in Portugal, Mexico, and Turkey. In that match, Ronaldo scored his first goal with Al Nassr, and celebrated with his signature move that is considered as his trademark. Speaking of trademarks, we start our story with CR7, not CR7 the player but the businessman or the brand. At the beginning of 2000s, the shoes and sport equipment company, Nike, launched a campaign called Joga Bonito, meaning the beautiful game in Portuguese. This campaign had many stars: Ronaldo the Phenomenon, Ronaldinho, Henry, and Rooney the Golden Boy. One of the campaign's ads had both Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Cristiano Ronaldo, where both showcased their skills for us to see who's more skillful. The irony is that Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo had the longest careers among the players who were a part of that campaign. Both played for the biggest clubs, presented great seasons and won the biggest championships. But there's another important irony, that at that time Zlatan was more popular than Cristiano, and had a larger charisma with the audience. I mean, it's enough he was a friend of Captain Mito. He was the shining star that attracts the audience with his moves. They like to see his reactions. He was Zlatan. Zlatan was the top in media, and then also Ronaldo alongside. He was an underdog at the time. But today, if we'll draw a comparison between both in terms of skill or championships or goals, and all of these stuff, we'll find that Cristiano wins in all categories. Also on the media, marketing, price, and charisma aspects Cristiano was behind, and he can now be ahead of Zlatan easily. Cristiano didn't just become a huge advertisement figure over time, he himself turned into a brand that many companies wish to advertise themselves through him, even if with just one post on his Instagram profile, they would pay $1.6 million for just one post. Ronaldo's relationship with marketing started a long time ago. Let's go back to summer 2002, when Cristiano was 17 years old, and joined the first team of Sporting Lisbon. His family here took one of the most important decisions of his life, to sign with the agent Jorge Mendes. Let me tell you, my friend, that Mendes back then was different from now. He wasn't the most important footballer's agent in the world yet, or even an important one in his country. He was just a young man trying out his luck in different jobs, a clothes sales assistant for a while, then a beach bar with a small DJ, until he liked the whole player's agent thing. He founded his company, Gestifute. His first success was contributing in Hugo Viana's transfer to Newcastle, where the Premier League is the strongest league in the world. This was probably the reason that drove Cristiano's family to trust him, that he was a skillful salesman. A few months later, Cristiano bumped into someone else, a 24-year-old man called Ricky Regufe. He convinced Cristiano to sign his first contract with Nike, when he was working in PR. Ronaldo was young at the time, around 17 or 18, imagine how valuable the deal was later on. Imagine writing in your CV under achievements you made a deal with Ronaldo. Ricardo said this deal was a turning point in his life, in Ronaldo's career, and in Nike's career too. Ricardo's the marketing and PR-oriented relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo didn't stop at that deal. In one of August 2003 nights, Cristiano received a call from his agent. "Hello, agent?" Mendes told him, "Tomorrow is a very important day, Cristiano. It could be the most important day in your life. If you want to prove you're extraordinary and snatch your family out of poverty, if you want to prove to yourself you recovered from your heart problem with the irregular beats, then you have to play very well in tomorrow's match. Ronaldo, it's true that it's an exhibition game, but it's against Manchester United, with its coach Sir Alex Ferguson. Ronaldo hung up and decided that it would be the day he changed his life. He played against Sir Alex's team without any fear. He took lead of the ball, dribble, and rockets in the midfield. He wandered in the United's field easily. He made some mistakes as he was still a young player, but his speed, strength, and skill with handling the ball was evident, to the point where he got big professional players to run around and sometimes even beat them. This is exactly what Jorge Mendes wanted, because he wanted to market the boy in England. Of course, I don't need to spoil the events and tell you that he did go to Manchester. Really, ABO homed? What I'm trying to tell you, my friend, is that the transfer details are ambiguous. For example, The Guardian writer David Kahn says that Lisbon wanted €6 million. That's like for free, ABO homed, Ronaldo for €6 million? That number doesn't even buy Percy Tau now. Let me tell you that the United spent over £12 million. It seems like they were bargaining in the opposite way. They wanted 6 and you gave them 12? There was competition between Manchester and Arsenal to buy Cristiano, so Manchester paid the higher price to ensure he'd join them. If you asked me why Manchester doubled the price and about Mendes' commission and if he was the only party of the deal, these are all questions without definitive answers. The thing we know for sure is that it was a good deal for all parties, except for Chelsea in 2008. Sporting Lisbon won a few extra money. Mendes earned more fame as he set out 2 players to the English league. It's a specialty now. Ronaldo played in a Premier League team under a world-established coach. The audience was excited for the gift that would wreak havoc. Even the United's legend players were also interested in Ronaldo. George Best, the United's player in the 60s and 70s, after Cristiano's first match, he said that many players were referred to as the new George Best, and that this player is the new George Best. After I saw this boy, if they said that about him, it'd be a compliment for me. Because it would be said on Ronaldo, who has everything. He plays well with both legs skillfully and fast. He did amazing side kicks from both wings. Messi said it was the most interesting career kickoff he had seen. Ronaldo's first seasons with the Red Devils were good but not great, we got to be honest, you know. He did score goals in the league and championship, but he wasn't the top scorer. He did great dribbles but missed other opportunities in return. Imagine being called Ronaldo and missing opportunities. It's like being called Einstein and failing physics. He cameoed in Nike's ad The Other Game, but he was a side character. Because the real Ronaldo was already there. Ronaldo the opportunity taker, Ronaldo the finisher. There was also his fellow Portuguese, Luís Figo, and also Roberto Carlos. Cristiano's cameo was less than that of his generation's stars, like his colleague Ricardo Quaresma. All until a turning point that turned everything upside down, on the 1st of July 2006. In a match between England and Portugal in quarter-finals of 2006 World Cup, exactly in the minute 61, Rooney stumbled the Portuguese defense. Carvalho, the Portuguese players ran to the referee, but guess who was the first to arrive to the referee asking for Rooney's penalty? Cristiano Ronaldo, my friend. Rooney was with him and his team, his colleague. You play with the national team twice a year, I'm your teammate, we live together. We eat, drink, and take penalties together. You do this to me? So what if I broke his leg? It's the field temper. Then Gary Neville and Rio Ferdinand repeated what Rooney did with Ronaldo. Mind you, my friend, they're not regular players in England, they're his teammates in Manchester United. Gary Neville was his captain. They treated him with extreme hostility. Cristiano turned from a friend to a foe. Because he was the first one ready to sell them out. Anyway, Rooney did get a penalty card. Then the camera captured Cristiano in a cinematic shot of him winking to his colleagues on Portugal's substitution bench. See what I did there? It was missing a finale scene, the scene of when both teams play a penalty shootout, and Frank Lampard missing a penalty, so did Gerrard and Jamie Carragher. All for Portugal to get the chance on a silver platter, and who would be the last shooter? Here, in the eyes of the English players and audience and the Premier League fans that he played in, they saw that he was a traitor, and he was the one responsible for England's loss. Cristiano Ronaldo became the most hated player for the English audience. Let's see what the English audience said. In the report that the English journalist, Amy Lawrence, did, we'll find one saying, Rooney did do something stupid, but Ronaldo shouldn't play in the Premier League again. Another one said, this guy plays in twisted and devilish ways. He shouldn't call himself a player. A third one said, every English fan wishes for Ronaldo's death. Whoa, abo homed, it went too far. Even the media, my friend, joined that fight, to the point where the legend scorer Alan Shearer, England's Hossam Hassan, said that when Rooney would return to Manchester's training, the first thing he'd do was punching Cristiano. All this madness spiraled in anyone's head. Let me tell you that Cristiano declared to a Portuguese newspaper that he wouldn't keep playing in Manchester United, and it was a matter of time till finding a new club. Indeed, Valencia was watching things go down in flames in extreme ecstasy and waiting for the moment they'd swoop in and make the deal. Imagine if Ronaldo had gone to Valencia and then going to Valladolid or something. But in reality, I'll surprise you, that didn't happen. Let me tell you that Sir Alex Ferguson, whom we made an episode on named Manchester United, was an old-timer expert. In 1998, the English audience went against Beckham badly for his penalty in their match with Argentina. Alex Ferguson successfully managed to save the day then, and contain all the pressure on Beckham from the English audience. He did the same that time too with Cristiano. With his wisdom, he convinced Cristiano to keep playing and start a new page. Let me tell you what happened in the first team meeting in the new season. Gary Neville was in the training center and then Ronaldo walked in, but he wasn't the Ronaldo he knew. Cristiano's image at the time was being talented but skinny and weak, where his teammates used to make fun of him. A journalist in The Telegraph confirms in his article that the United players made fun of his tight clothes, hair, teeth, and acne. They told him he was given the jersey number 7 to keep it warm until Beckham returned. These weren't rumors. The image of that weak boy changed the moment he walked in. When Gary Neville saw him, he felt like he was seeing a midweight boxer. Big prominent muscles, low body fat, and great physical power. It's known that when players return from vacation, they're overweight, eating burger, pizza, barbecue, fish and chips, and staying up late in front of TV. Everyone was enjoying themselves. But Ronaldo's figure took everyone by surprise. Let me tell you that more important than the physical transformation was the mental one. Gary Neville says about it that he felt for the first time Ronaldo wasn't a boy, but a dependable man. He was no longer the player focused on dribbling and showing skills, but became the one with a will to prove himself for the world. It's important to understand that this transformation happened in a context which was the departure of legendary Van Nistelrooy from the team. When a big scorer leaves, this created a need of another player to fill in. Here, I introduce you to René Meulenstein. He was one of Sir Alex's assistants in Manchester. René saw Cristiano's problem with scoring. But he also saw that these problems had solutions, hence the team's problems would also be solved. René went up to Ronaldo and asked him one question: are you satisfied with your scoring rate? René already knew the answer. René started working personally and up close with Ronaldo. Let me ask you, my friend, do you know what Cristiano's total scores during the first 3 seasons were? According to Transfermarkt, they were 27 goals. Geez, abo homed, 27 goals in a season? I can't believe that how the legend was. 27 over 3 seasons, my friend. René thought that the reason behind the low scores was that Cristiano always wanted to score nice and impressive goals. Just like your friend in PlayStation dribbling the entire team and loses, dribbling the players and goalkeeper, and the referee too. You're such a player, show me how you win. Ronaldo at that time shot a lot from outside the penalty area. He scores once well and then 10 times sending the ball to space. René insisted on Ronaldo scoring more goals, regardless of the way of the goal. René analyzed videos for top scorers and had Ronaldo watch them, watch Thierry Henry's and Alan Shearer's techniques, to study, learn from them, see how their bodies move, which angle they shoot from, the strength they send through the ball, and how they act in every situation differently from the other. Then he applied what he learned practically in 3 situations. Shooting from inside the penalty area, from the sides of the field right and left, and from outside the penalty area. By the end of 2006 to 2007 season, Ronaldo scored 23 goals. See the transformation? That's as much as he did over 3 past years. After the season, René went up to him and asked, "How many goals can you score next season?" Ronaldo told him around 30 to 35 goals. René told him he could score 40 goals. Imagine a player we went crazy about when he scored 23 goals, and now René asked for the double. Let me tell you that this Dutch coach's judgment was true. Ronaldo skyrocketed in 2007 to 2008 season, and turned into a goal-scoring machine. Scoring with his right and left, scoring with his head to his maximum potential. Scoring with regular attacks or counterattacks. That's all besides fouls, free kicks, and his special penalty kicks. Do you know how many goals he scored by the end of that season? Of course, he scored 40 goals to wrap the plot twist well. No, my friend, he scored 42 goals in 49 matches. An amazing score rate for a player who's supposed to be a wing. He was a wing at that time. They were important goals that are hard for UTD's fans to forget, nor forget his extraordinary performance that season. He was a player that scored almost a goal every match. He led Alex Ferguson's team to coronation in Europe's top 2 leagues. The season ended, and it was expected that Ronaldo took over all individual honors, after his amazing form. Premier League top scorer, Premier League Player of the Season, UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, FIFA World Player of the Year 2008, his first Ballon d'Or. He was just missing a Nobel and an Oscar. Cristiano won his personal battle and reintroduced himself. From a 20-year-old skillful and fast player whose absence and presence of little importance, to a fully integrated player who's fast, a scorer, physically strong, and skillful with United. He managed to add to the value of his team and win championships. A player whose teammates used to bully him for his looks and saw him less than to wear Beckham's shirt and the English audience was pissed at, to the main player Manchester United depended on to finish matches. He contributed in Manchester United winning Champions League after a 9-year absence. This same audience chose him as the best player in the final that was between United and Chelsea. All of this reflected on Cristiano's popularity, and there was Ricardo's chance. Remember? That PR guy from Nike, that had Ronaldo sign when they were young. Starting here, we'll see Ronaldo, who used to appear as a sidekick in ads, became the front face of a campaign called Be Invincible, and the Joga Bonito campaign that we talked about earlier. It's said that Ricardo had a major role in that happening. Jorge Mendes took advantage of the situation on a larger scale. Mendes founded another company besides Gestifute called Polaris Sports. That company aimed at marketing the players commercial-wise only. In 2009, the two companies signed partnership contracted with the CAA. I'm scared. The CAA stands for a huge agency in the marketing field and producing marketing campaigns. This agency dealt with superstars, the cinema stars, the musician, the crew behind the cameras. It was time for the field stars to shine. Gestifute was the best front face for the CAA, not just because Mendes' clients achieved the most important European awards, like Ronaldo and Jose Mourinho, but also because it's an excellent partnership marketing-wise. Take Ronaldo as an example. We have a handsome man based on Western beauty standards, a fit body and symmetric muscles, confident and self-believer, has an inspiring backstory that's motivating for many young men, where he turned from an outcast to a hero, from a normal person to a filthy rich one, popular, has an audience, and many fans, but he also had a lot of haters. All of that while he was just 23 years old. These were all perfect qualities for him to become successful. Offers from different companies rained down on him. In 2009, Castrol, the manufacturer of car petrol oil, offered a deal to Cristiano Ronaldo to represent the company for the audience, advertise their products and market their offers, and to be the real-life representation of the company's identity and slogan. That was the mission of a brand ambassador. Ronaldo agreed on being their ambassador. One of Ronaldo's ads with Castrol about strong performance under any circumstance showed that just like how Ronaldo was able to score goals in any team and field, the Castrol cars also do the impossible. That was the meaning of being a product's real-life presentation. Sorry ABO Homed, does being a brand ambassador earn good money? Let me tell you that according to the Daily Mail, this partnership is estimated to be $4.5 million yearly. Add to this partnership Nike's money plus some ads Ronaldo cameoed in like Suzuki's, and another cameo in Coca-Cola's campaign in Asia, and his cameo in FIFA Street 2 game we used to play on PlayStation 2, or even an Indonesian energy drink called Extra Joss. Add all that up together and knock on the wood, Cristiano's earnings from product sponsors reached £12 million according to a report by The Guardian in 2009. That was in a time where his salary with Manchester United in his main profession was £7 million, he earned £12 million from ads and from his team £7 million yearly. Keeping in mind if not for the small fish he wouldn't get the big one. Ronaldo, as you see, earned money outside the field more than he did inside. Jamie Wynn Morgan, the CEO of M&AMP, CSADCHI, the expert in sponsorships and PR, had advised Castrol to sign with Ronaldo, and said that whether you like him or not, you'd agree on two things: first, that he was a great player, and second, that he could be a brand, an international brand that could compete with Beckham. Beckham at that time was showering with sponsor deals, and his commercial earnings reached up to £26 million. Let me tell you that Morgan's words mattered to Cristiano and his agent, because this was a main part of their goals. Indeed, they wanted him to be a great player but also a huge market front, a scorer on the field but still doing commercials. They wanted him to be better than Beckham as a player and a brand. How we see Cristiano now didn't happen out of nowhere, or something that happened suddenly in a later stage. This all happened while Ronaldo was still 23 to 24 years old. The only one who didn't like how things were going was Alex Ferguson. What an annoying coach, Abo homed, he's eyeing the guy's money. No, my friend, remember, I told you Alex Ferguson was an old-timer expert. He didn't want to repeat Beckham's same story, who turned into a media star and his football skills were affected. Ferguson followed a traditional school. He believed that the player's activity outside the field took from his focus inside, and here the entire team would also lose focus. This was the reason behind his disagreement with Beckham, that ended in his departure from Manchester in 2003. The story would be repeated again, but with Ronaldo this time. In the 2009 season, Ronaldo complained from defenders' tough tackles. Here Alex went out to the media and said Ronaldo felt referees didn't protect him and that I as Ferguson believe he's right but in very few cases, and see him wrong in other cases. Not everything has to go his way. See the tone, my friend? And how Ferguson threw him in front of a bus. What if I told you what happened after the matches with Aston Villa and Porto? When the ball was tackled off from Cristiano multiple times in both matches, which caused Manchester to concede many goals. Here Ferguson clearly stated he wouldn't tolerate such mistakes even from Ronaldo, and he kept Cristiano on the bench in Sunderland's match. That wasn't just a public criticism, it also meant that Cristiano's relationship with Manchester would end soon. Indeed, a few weeks later, Alex Ferguson confirmed Ronaldo's departure from Manchester United. Ronaldo was determined to transfer to Real Madrid. He left Manchester as one of the world's best players, but also a huge commercial front. Many specialized marketing companies worked in his shadow to take advantage of his popularity and success as a football player, as well as his physical features. Indeed, he got the best offers, but why did he want Real Madrid specifically? Abo homed. Because of the club's history and the idea of a hero? That's part of the answer, but there's another important reason that we need to consider. Professor Simon Chadwick of Marketing and Sports Business in Coventry University said that based on his conversations with Real Madrid officials, he felt like that wasn't just a football club. It was also a trademark for entertainment and audience attraction. This was obvious in the 2000s generation and specifically with the Galacticos, the club's president Perez stunned in a picture with Zidane on his left and Ronaldo the phenomenon, and on the right Luis Figo and Beckham. That's all besides Gonzalez, Casillas, and Roberto Carlos already in the team. They were stars shining all over the field and all over the world. Each one of them had his audience. Imagine if next to that person you want to see there's Luis Figo, Zidane, Ronaldo, and Beckham. The foreign policies journalist asked the commercial manager of Real Madrid about their strategy to gather all these stars. He told him that football is like the film industry, and Real Madrid is like a Hollywood director. When you want to produce a film with earnings, you don't just invest in a story, scenario, and acting, no, you also need Tom Cruise, the star that attracts the audience. That's exactly what Real Madrid did when it signed with Zidane and Beckham. It's true that the all-star Galacticos team didn't achieve extraordinary stuff, but it actually might have suffered a problem with role assigning in field and determining the role of each field, who'll score the goal, who'll create opportunities, who'll pressure the others. Hats besides, who was the coach that would control all these stars? But what isn't arguable is this team had unprecedented success outside the field. In the aspect of marketing profits, for example, Perez himself said the club's profits from deals with sponsors was €7 million, but after having Beckham, the profits went up to €45 million. You know, when was this announced? Just days before Ronaldo joined. This wasn't a coincidence, because Perez continued saying that if they managed to sign Cristiano, the club's profits would increase, which was a sign that Perez knew he was going to pay a lot, €80 million to buy Cristiano Ronaldo, but he knew how much he would gain from that deal. Because he did it before and it worked. That's why The Guardian's writer Robert Booth says that there's a subtle agreement between Cristiano, his agent, Real's team, that this wasn't just a sport deal. Aren't you here to be a giant commercial front, Cristiano? Don't you want to do endless ads? Or have a trademark like CR7? Or have products selling with your name? As a club, we won't just allow it, we'll encourage you to do so. As long as your name gets bigger in the marketing field, we also benefit from you and can sell with more money. Anyway, Ronaldo going to Real is the best player in the world and the most popular club, and everyone is waiting for his arrival to the medical examination. Reporters, journalists, and fans are all there. But Cristiano toots their horn. Oh God, abo homed, he didn't go to Real? My friend, I'm talking history, not foretelling. My friend, you know him because he went to Real, and I'm making an episode about him going there, don't nag me. I'm building the drama pieces. Cristiano did show up with a white shirt and Nike written on it, and do you know who was the sport's main sponsor? And the one with the extraordinary partnership with Real Madrid since 1989? Don't say abo homed, Adidas? Bless you. Imagine the faces of Real Madrid officials at that moment. Real Madrid official in opinion says that Perez preferred players who already signed with Adidas, like Kaká and Benzema, who arrived the same summer as Ronaldo. What Ronaldo did with this move was considered taboo. He was also determined that the name written on the back of his shirt to be Ronaldo. What's the issue, abo homed? That's his family name too. That was if you're going to some local club's test. But you're going to a club with Ronaldo the phenomenon as one of its stars. Also, number 7 wasn't free, so Cristiano would wear number 9. You want to confuse people. Just similar names, abo homed, that's all I see. Similar names and number, what could happen? My friend, a marketing disaster would happen. The Real Madrid fan from Mbaba, who had Ronaldo the phenomenon shirt, that shirt was dead and now revived, the fan won't need to buy the new one. Why would they buy new shirts? He's already on trend with the old shirt. These two things assure that Ronaldo was aware of his commercial value, and knew how much it'd reach in the future. He chose Real Madrid for the history and popularity, and because its name would open for him other sponsors and advertisers. He joined a team with Adidas as its main sponsor while declaring his personal loyalty to Nike since day one. He wanted Ronaldo's name to be tied to him, not the phenomenon, despite the phenomenon's great popularity. He ended an era with great successes outside and inside the field. But he still had ambition for other levels of success inside and outside the field. But how did Real Madrid handle these obstacles? Would Perez easily accept Ronaldo's terms? Were there other arguments? More important and impacting arguments than this t-shirt thing? We'll find out in a following episode titled Ronaldo. Don't forget to watch old episodes, wait for the new one, look at the sources, and subscribe if you're on YouTube.